So last year I made a video titled, So I Played Skylanders in 2023, ... And you guys seemed to really like it actually. So I decided that this year was a great time to do a follow-up video. Especially because recently I've been seeing so many Skylander videos recommended to me. It's like a sort of resurgence in the franchise, even though there's no new games or anything. Either that, or I'm just in an oddly large group of weird people still talking about the games. Which it very well could be the second option, but I digress. So now that I've made videos for the first and the second Skylanders games, what do we think the next game I'm going to cover is going to be? Yep, that's right, Skylanders Superchargers. I know maybe I should have made a video about Swap Force, since it was one of the most popular games, but if you want a video about Swap Force, then there's plenty of dedicated videos by other creators on YouTube about it, but I noticed that there wasn't so many videos about Superchargers, and contradictory to my Skylanders ranking from a few years back, I have to say that this game is probably my favorite of the six. So let's talk about the game that killed Skylanders. But before we do that, I just want to thank all of you really quick because you guys got me to over 2,000 subscribers, and I'm so thankful for all of you. And I'm sorry I didn't upload for a while. There were a few reasons for that, but anyway, if you don't mind leaving a like if you're liking the video so far, maybe leaving a comment, and subscribing if you haven't already, I really appreciate it. It helps me make better videos, and it helps you watch better videos. So really, it's a win-win, honestly. Thank you, and now I'll stop holding you hostage and play the rest of the video. So just a little bit of background in case you haven't been too invested in the Skylanders lore for a while. There were 4 games in the Skylanders franchise that came out before Superchargers. Those being Spyro's Adventure, Giants, Swap Force, and Trap Team. And all except for Swap Force were made by the same developers, Toys for Bob, with the one exception being Swap Force, like I just said, which was made by Vicarious Visions. And Superchargers just so happens to be Vicarious Visions' second and last attempt at making a Skylanders game. And it's a little unfortunate that their last game was looked at with such disgust from a lot of longtime Skylanders fans. So what in the gameplay could make people dislike this game so much? Well, to start off, if you strip down Skylanders Superchargers to its core gameplay aspects, it has all of the gameplay things that you could expect from a Skylanders game. It has the light puzzle solving, the enemy encounters, and plenty of boss fights throughout. And then outside of that, they also brought back the longer levels that they had in Swap Force, which it's a love it or hate it thing. Personally, I do like the long levels. They're really just short connected levels that are all seamlessly strung together to make one large level. But that's not enough to justify all the hate that this game gets. So then why is this game so hated? It's the cars. It's impossible to deny that the biggest reason so many people had such an animosity for this game is because of the idea of their Skylanders, these mystical creatures fighting an evil darkness wizard guy driving a Ford F-150. And that is understandable. And I don't know why they would choose vehicles as their gimmick when the ability to swap the tops and bottoms of figures to make brand new characters and playstyles was their gimmick for Swap Force, and it was arguably the best gimmick that Skylanders ever had. But they chose vehicles. And as much as people hate them and think that they ruined the game and the series as a whole, I kind of like them. I know. Hate me, but I like them. The biggest difference here is that for once the gimmick was necessary in the story. For example, you could have played all of Skylanders Giants without using a giant at all if you didn't want to. But with Superchargers, you had to use at least one vehicle to complete almost every level. And this is a double-edged sword, really, because sure, if you don't like the vehicle sections, then you're not going to like that you have to use them in almost every level. But it also means that these vehicle sections get to feel more epic and they get to have a cinematic feel, which no elemental gates or swap zones from the previous games did as well. And it can make driving feel really cool sometimes, which is made better with how pretty the game is. I mean, all of the games after Giants look really good in this series, although I think this game looks especially well, especially the cutscenes. The cutscenes in this game look gorgeous! Absolutely stunning. But other than the vehicles, what else did this game have to offer? Because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who saw the vehicles and didn't care to look any further into the game, and I understand. Especially because the target demographic for this game was kids, and kids will switch up on you really quick, which is a little bit unfortunate, because I think that this game has one of, if not the best plots in all of the Skylanders games. Spoiler warning if you don't want spoilers for this game that came out in 2015. So this game has the basic plot of Chaos wanting to take over Skylands once again, and he practically wins until Hugo and Flynn and Callie sneak the Skylanders back into Skylands, and then throughout the story, Chaos slowly starts getting manipulated by the darkness, because in this game the darkness can talk. And it goes so far that Chaos fires Glumshanks, which leads to possibly the saddest scene in all of Skylanders history.
If we don't jettison some of this cargo, we're all done for!
Hey! Who's that? Why, it's Glumshanks! Jumping cuttlefish, that troll's gone daffy!
He's gonna get sucked into the rift! What's he doing out there?
He's saving us!
And then we eventually defeat Chaos, of course, and then Chaos actually has a change of heart and banishes the darkness into the dark dimension, or something like that. And then the credits roll. But as the credits are rolling, the darkness comes back out of the darkness dimension for one last battle. And of course we win this battle, and Chaos joins forces with us, making for a perfect ending to the franchise. And I'm sure I did not do justice for how oddly satisfying this plot is. Really, if you want to experience it, then just play the game. But now, onto the part of the video that you actually clicked to see. So did Skylanders Superchargers kill the Skylanders franchise? Maybe? It's like this. The sales for Trap Team, which was the game that came right before it, were lower than Swap Force's sales already, so it could have just been inevitable, especially with the yearly releases, but I'm sure that the Cars gimmick definitely was a contributor to the decline of sales. It's just such an unimaginative idea for such a limitless world, and it could give off the vibe that they didn't have any good ideas left for the game, which is upsetting because the ideas for levels in this game were awesome. And even some of the racing tracks, because some of the racing tracks were cool, like racing through a tornado or driving on a dragon's back. But just because they weren't on cars, it didn't seem as interesting to some people. And so yeah, I do think that Superchargers at least accelerated the death of Skylanders. It's unfortunate, but it was bound to happen at some point. So, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, then leave a like and comment, and maybe subscribe if you'd like. I'd really appreciate it. And with that, I'm Made with Love, and I'll see you in the next video.